Hi, I'm Julian. I'm on the floor. Welcome to the floor, and also welcome to my channel. I'm a musical theater performer who loves makeup, and that is what we're here to discuss today. The two of those things together, merging the two. But before we do that, if you could just do me a huge favor, I would love for you to just subscribe to my channel. We're gonna be doing some makeup things. We're gonna be talking about musical theater, I think, in the future. We're gonna be discussing some books that I've read recently. I would love to unpack some of the pros and cons of working on ships and working at theme parks and working on a national tour, things like that. All the things are going to be happening, but you can't see them if you're not subscribed. You could see them, but I would like you to subscribe. Please just do this for me, okay? Subscribe, leave a comment down below how you know me. If you're my friend, I'd love to hear from you. If you're not my friend, I won't say that we can be friends, but I will say I'm a very nice person. So you can leave a comment as well. But yeah, let's get into the video and I hope you enjoy. So we're gonna be talking about the products I used on my ship. I did a cruise with Celebrity Beyond, and I'm a very sweaty performer. I'm a very sweaty person in general, but specifically when I'm performing, I just tend to like buckets of sweat will come out. So I developed this routine while I was on the ship that was a sweat-proof, transfer-proof, we'll call it. It's not like 100% perfect because it's pigment. It's gonna come off. But I did notice that I would finish the show and I wouldn't have to touch up my face, which is really cool. And so I thought I would share some of those things, and if these things work for you, that's great. If they don't, sorry. And also if they don't work for you, I can't afford to hear about that. No, okay, you can tell me that it doesn't work for you, or you can tell me whatever. I would love for you to try these things out and see if any of them work for you, we're not gonna do techniques, we're just gonna use products today. I can try to do a technique video, but that'll come later because I can't be bothered. So, powders. I have very thin eyebrow hairs. You can't see them now because they're completely drawn over. And I use a brow pencil. I don't think the brow pencil was actually what was keeping it sweat proof. I think I just use the Benefit Brow, whatever, I'll list that down below as well. I did this thing where I would put powder. This is a loose powder from Fenty. My skin tone, so it can be translucent, it can be whatever, but I used it with the powder puff. I used the powder puff and I powdered my brows down after I filled them in and brushed away the excess and whatever, and then I would use a setting spray. It's so dirty, but this is from Makeup Revolution. It's a base fix, but basically you need to find a setting spray that has alcohol in it. And the first ingredient here is alcohol. So the Ben Nye has a really strong one that Disney princesses use at the Disney parks. I used it at my theme park, Busch Gardens. That's a really strong one, but it was almost too strong for me because I used that on my last ship and it would kind of stick my eyelids together, which was really uncomfortable. So I found this. There's a Patrick Star one also that does the same, but this one is cheaper. So that setting spray with the powder on the eyebrows kept my eyebrows, they stayed on for both of our shows, which was great. Every once in a while I would have a little slip up, or I would do it wrong or something would happen, but for the most part I could take my towel and I would blot it into my face or whatever and it would be fine. A side note about towels: if you're sweaty like me, don't swipe your face if you can. Obviously whatever, quick changes and blah blah blah, but I was able to on my ship blot my face with a towel instead of swiping it, because that just is gonna take things away. So try to be responsible if you want to keep your makeup on, if you're a sweaty person, if you're doing these quick changes by yourself. So once the brows are on, the next thing I used, why am I not prepared? This from e.l.f. It's their cream eyeshadow. It looks like that on the inside. It's kind of a taupe color. There's a MAC version of this that's $30 or something crazy. This was $5 maybe less than $5, but it was pretty cheap. And I bought it on a whim. I used that as a cream base for my eyeshadow, which for me was not too much. There was one show I did kind of a fun look. Which, oh, by the way, side note again, I think we're gonna do a go back through my contract with me where I do the show makeup that I did for the shows over the years. I think that's fun. I hope that's a fun idea. If not, It's happening. It's already working. Anyway, I would use that cream eyeshadow and I would put that over so I would like conceal under my brow, and then I would just like paint it onto my eyelid. And it, once again, is very, very, it's called like a no budge cream shadow, and it does not budge. So if you go too heavy with it, it is kind of hard to take off. I've had some nights where like my eyes were raw from taking it off, but that being said, my eyeshadow didn't move and my little bronzy eye was like perfect every night, and that's kind of stunning. I don't know. I think that's kind of stunning. So there's that. And then we'll talk about the eyeshadow palette I used. Once again, that's like the sweat proof part, but this is the Jackie Aina with Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is the outside of the palette. That's all that matters. I use this palette. I used shades in here. I'm not going to open it and show you. You can't. I'll list the shades down below and you can Google those shades because this palette is disgusting. But I used it and that's great. And it was a collector's item and I decided that I was going to use it because why would I buy makeup and not use the makeup? I know it's limited edition. I know it's never coming back out, but I'm using it, okay? So I use that palette for the most part. And every once in a while I would dip into this palette, which is from Pat McGrath, and it was way too much money. I should not have spent this much money on anything in my life. It was, I think, upwards of $70. We don't have to talk about it. I have it. I own it. We don't have to discuss it. Once again, I'll put the shade down below, but you can't get me to open it because you know why? I get embarrassed when I see how messy things are. So, mascara, waterproof, you know, because sweat. It's sweat proof. Better than sex. You see that? It's this but blue. There's a blue little tube and I had a tiny little mini that I got on a whim that I just wanted to try it out, and I used the whole contract. I don't know if there was anything on that brush by the time I finished, but I was still swiping on my little eyelashes. And once again, I would finish shows and it would be there. I would take a shower and it would unfortunately still be there, so I would have to like wash my face again. But I think that's great, and I'd rather have that than I'd rather have mascara and eyeshadow like left over on my eye after the show, after I shower and stuff, versus having like it coming down my eyes, which it started during the contract when I first got on the ship. It would just be like black down my eyes. Speaking of black down my eyes, I didn't use eyeliner because I didn't need it, but also because it would just run and then it would go down my face, and that was like really unfortunate because I like to look beautiful. I don't want to look ugly and I don't want to look tragic on stage because I'm already sweating, so I might as well be pretty while I'm sweating, you know what I mean? So I didn't use eyeliner after a while because I have a certain eye shape. You can't see them now because I have lashes on, but like you can't really see eyeliner on me unless I do like crazy dramatic wings. Hold for my foot. My foot is asleep. Ah! You can't really see my eye liner, the like artistry that I do down there, because it's just gonna be covered eventually, and I'm always squinting my eyes, or I'm always like when I sing. So I didn't do that. I just didn't do eyeliner. So I just did mascara and I just kind of put it on thickly, and I have really long eyelashes, so that worked in my favor. Once again, if that doesn't work for you, I don't know what to tell you. You can use a pot of eyeliner. There's like little pots, like it'll be like this, but a pot of black. Okay? Next, face. This is expensive in my mind, but I think it's useful, whereas other things that were expensive I wouldn't buy again. This, it's from Danessa Myricks, black-owned brand. Black-owned brand Danessa Myricks. It's Yummy Skin. It's called like a blurring balm powder. Love. Blurring balm powder. All those things it does. I used it as my primer. I used Hydro Grip, the milk Hydro Grip primer that like everyone kind of talks about now. I used that for a while, and I would use this on top. And then one day I forgot to use the Milk Hydro Grip and I just used more of this, and it was perfect. So I just started using just this because I was all about efficiency. But basically this has pigment in it and it's like a little cream. Take this on a brush and I put it in my little under eyes, cover my little dark circles, cover my little mustache area where I shave hazardly every day before the shows, get around my mouth where there's little dark circles, and then go up here on my little third eye center, and then I would blend out from there. And so it's like concealer, my first layer of concealer, and it's a primer, so it kept my face kind of, just kept like over excessive oil. Keep in mind I'm sweating, but like I would start the second show and not be oily, if that makes sense. And I thought that was great, and this is great. So I'm gonna list this down below. They have a lot of shades. They also have a translucent one that on shows that I didn't have to rapidly change costumes or do dance breaks. And when I didn't have to do those dance breaks and when I didn't have to quick change, I would put on the translucent one and then do foundation and stuff. Which brings me to my next point. Controversial, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to say it. I take care of my skin really well. I have a great skincare routine that I use. We can talk about that on a different day, but I don't use foundation. I don't know what to tell you. I don't use foundation because what is the point? It's gonna come off, I'm gonna put foundation on, and that foundation is gonna end up on a towel. So what am I doing? Why are we doing that? I'd rather just take care of my skin and then prep it really well and then give it a little glow, a little sheen, and then go on stage. Because you know what? They can deal with it. That audience member, that 62-year-old audience member who is 3 martinis deep watching me do a surrealism section of Arte, they don't care if my face is flawless. They just want to see me twirl. They just want to see me People don't care about my foundation. So I would use this guy, and then I would use a concealer. The concealer, I don't know where it is. This is Huda Beauty. It's a concealer. It's the faux filter. A faux filter luminous matte. Ooh, slay. Luminous matte. So it's very high coverage concealer. So I would just use that right under my eyes and right here in my little mustache area, and I would just blend. And I make this little, like, basically like a little circle, a little flashlight in the center of my face, which is something I learned from watching the makeup artist who did Lola's makeup in Kinky Boots on Broadway, because full circle, I love Kinky Boots. And also Morticia Addams in Addams Family has like a little, there's like a little, they actually did it with light, but they like did it so that it was only at her eyes, and I thought that was so cool. So I wanted to create that with makeup, and that's kind of what I do. But I do it in a circle, like a little heart, because it goes like that. So that's concealer. That's my like face for the most part, and then the rest I would do in powders. I would take an under eye powder. I'm not showing that. I can show you. It doesn't matter. Whatever. It's little. It's so tiny. I think that's so cute, but also something about this is so inconvenient. But I got this like, it was like a gift with purchase. A gift with purchase. That was what this was. So it's a Laura Mercier. It's just the honey powder. Love it. And I use these pressed powders from One Size Beauty. Turn of the Base, they're foundation powders. I'd use this one under my eye to brighten and also set, because there's a lot of pigment in this. And it's also just like meant to like mattify my face, because once again, sweaty, oil. Trying to like eliminate those as much as possible. So like whenever I do stop sweating, it can at least be a little less oily. Are you guys having fun? I just want to check in. Is everyone having fun? Raise your hand if you're not having fun.
Clap if you care.
Okay, cool. This is the other powder I would use. Powder? Don't make fun of me, please. This is the other powder I would use, and I would use this just on my little cheeky cheeks here, because I have a round face, so there's not really much of a cheekbone, but it just kind of like created a little bit of a shade, and I wouldn't even like care about like cutting the bottom of it with like a highlight. I used to try that in the beginning and just didn't look nice. So I would literally just like dust on with like a big fluffy brush like this guy. I would take this, fluff it on my cheeks, and I would take it a little across my nose bridge, and I would call it a day there. And after that, I would use setting spray. That same setting spray that I used after I finished my eyebrows, I would do that after I finished all of that. And if I was doing full face of foundation, I would have used this in between every step, because I think that's the way that setting spray was intended to be used, or so I've heard from like makeup artists in like a book I read. Last but not least, the lips. I use the lip liner. It was a dark brown. Once again, I'll put it down below. I don't know where it is. It's a black pencil, so it blends in with all my black brushes that are up here. But it's a great. It's like it's extremely dark brown lip liner. So I would use that around the whole perimeter. Do a little, you know, I would do that. I would blend it, and then I would take a lip gloss from Fenty. Sometimes I would do 2 if it was something crazy. So the combination of these 2 with that lip liner created that nice, nasty 90s lip. You know what I mean? That nasty, like that Moesha, that Lil' Kim, that Missy Elliott, that dark brown lip liner with like your lip tone in the middle, and just shiny. Just a shiny lip. I love it. Oh, I'm obsessed with it. Oh my gosh. Those are the products. Like I will list them down below, but it's not that many, you know? And like we can talk about the other ones later when I do that recreation series that I am gonna do. Shut your mouth. I'm gonna do them. I'm excited. It's gonna be so fun. But when we do that, we can discuss like the full glam fantasy that I would do for our show called Elements, which was like the Cirque du Soleil show. In other words, I could stand in one place and sing a dream. But that was my main makeup kit for the whole contract. And I found this way that was just like, it made it sweat proof, and I was so proud of myself because like I came into that contract and I was like, I will not have no eyebrows on stage. I will not go on that stage with bald eyebrows. And one day I'll get microblading, but I just keep thinking how I'm gonna wake up and hate those. So I, for now, am cool with my little naked brows. But on stage, I wanted to look a little pretty. Is that okay? Is it all right if I look pretty? So that's me. What about you guys? Any comments? Any questions? Suggestions? Do you like this? Would you like to hear more about what I have in my makeup kit collection? Maybe. We can talk about those things. I would love for you to leave a comment. And I would love, I'm gonna say it again, I would love for you to subscribe to this channel because I'm actually having fun now. So it's gonna be great from here on out because now I'm having fun. At first it felt like a chore, and now it feels like fun. I've only done 2 videos, but it still feels like I'm having a great time. I'm having a blast, okay? I am battling anxiety and depression with fun. Who knew? It's possible. Get into it. Have fun. Create hobbies for yourself. I think that's great. Also see a therapist. You should see your therapist. Okay, that's all I got for today. So, reach out and touch. Okay, all right, bye. Thank you so much. They just want to see me dance. They just want to see me sing. They just want to see me twirl. They just want to see me sing to the heights. Sing higher than I've ever sang before in my life. They want to see me reach notes that I've never thought I'd reach, and then they want to see me go higher. They want to see me do more than that. And then they want to see me go lower too. Because sometimes I want to see you do low notes.